You have a well inside of yourself that is full of your life force energy, and there might be things that are causing leaks in it that are depleting you of your life force energy, but there's ways to replenish it and to keep it at a really steady, full level. And so I want to go into that and share what I just saw in my meditation. Arlo and I are just holding pause right now because he really wanted to be a part of this. One of you commented recently that you think Arlo is my spirit guide incarnated, and I've been leaning into that, and it feels pretty relevant, and it's allowed me to worry about him less and just let him be, which has been a nice trusting experience. But I still am his mother and still have to offer guidance because he gets a little excited about life and forgets that there's like cliffs and things to be careful for. So this morning has been a beautiful, slow morning here in the countryside of France. I'm on my yoga mat right now. Oh, you can kind of see. Yeah, so I woke up and, well, when I was going to bed last night, I was like, I want to get back into a rhythm, like, because I've been sick for the past week. The laundry's going off too if you hear beeping. I've been sick for the past week. In the past month, left this house, and you might have remembered some of my videos here a month ago. I found a van that was on the other side of France. So first I went to Barcelona, got a rental car, then I went to that part of France, bought a van, brought that van back through Barcelona, through Valencia in Spain, all the way down to Portugal, met my brother there, spent some time down there, spent like a month in Portugal, and then made my way back up here. And so yesterday, I officially registered the van, which seemed almost impossible. And then I got a little email from my car information back home, even though I sold it in the States, and it was saying that the registration was going to be up today. And so that was just like a divine synchronicity. And it's interesting because like it felt like a lot of chaos, and I'll get into the topic of this video, but I feel like this is supposed to come through too. A month ago when I was here in this beautiful house in the countryside, I was feeling so uncomfortable. I even put up a vlog where I was like very obviously uncomfortable here. Like I had this feeling within me that it was time to do something. And so that's what pushed me to get onto Facebook Marketplace, to find the van, that like the actual van. Like I was like, okay, I'm ready, because I had been searching for like a year, honestly, on Facebook Marketplace, and really hardcore for the past few months. But I was like, am I gonna do it? And so the discomfort that I was feeling here, because there's no public transportation here, there's no, like I would have to pay 90 to 100 euro just to get a taxi to the train station to then take public transportation. And so hopefully I don't have to go up there and turn that off. And so that made me make something happen. And when I was walking yesterday here on the trail in this area, I was just feeling like, wow, I'm seeing this place in such a different lens. Like I'm seeing it with like so much joy, and I'm like actually enjoying it. I thought I didn't really enjoy it here last time I was here. So the thing that I'm trying to communicate in it was sometimes we feel this discomfort, like we feel like something's like pushing us, like we gotta go do something, like we don't even know what it is. Like I was like, I'm so uncomfortable, I don't even know what I'm supposed to do. But like the thing that I think is the solution is like, I need a car, like I need freedom. And so like here I'm gonna make something happen. And that feeling that you might be feeling right now, it's getting you to move. It's getting you to go do the thing that your soul has been asking you to do for a very long time, and it's time to take action. And when you do that action and you go on that journey and you come back, you're going to be different. You are going to see things through a different lens, through a lens that allows you to experience the joy and the peace that you are searching for, that you are seeking, that you deserve. And so that's the other thing. I was not planning on talking about that, but that's the other thing that like really is important, is like allow that feeling that you're experiencing to move you. Don't just stay in it. I could have felt that and I could have just laid here. I was supposed to be here for 2 months, and like I was like, if I just stay here by myself, like I will wither away. Like no one's here to talk to. Like I was like, I can't. If I just stayed in that and I was like, oh, I'm doomed, like whatever, I guess I'll just suffer for 2 months and like, you know, hopefully it's not that bad, then it would have, I don't know, maybe there would have been magic in that too. But I chose like, no, I'm gonna make something happen. So that's the first message. The second one was this incredible, I talked about life force energy when I was in Portugal. It's a video where I'm standing outside and then a dog off the leash like almost comes to attack me in Arlo, and I had to escape that. But the life force energy message, it's like, I was in my meditation this morning and I was like, okay, I'm having this feeling like I want to go do something, like I want to be productive, I want to get back into running and working out and like, you know, being really productive, and like kind of like that old California energy that I was in. I was like, I want some more of that stability. Like I've been living on the road for a month, like all over the place. It's been chaos, but amazing. And so I'm feeling this discomfort in my meditation because part of me is wanting that, and then part of me is wanting to rest, still rest. And then the other part of me is like, damn it, like why do you always need a rest? Like why are you needing so much rest right now? And I've talked about conscious rest right now, how like with the new earth energy and everything that's coming through and the way that things are shifting, like our bodies, especially if you're watching, we need to become compatible for this new frequency coming onto earth, this new 5D energy. Like our bodies have to be upgraded. So it's almost like an incubation period. And so the mind, if it's on its own, will, with its conditioning, will often tell us like, no, you can't rest. You have to do, you have to go. And so then I was being shown this visual of, it's something that I've been working with for a while now. And it's almost like a cauldron, but not really. It's like a bathtub, but it's like an ancient, beautiful, it looks like stone kind of bathtub. And so when I started going to this retreat with my mom, I went to 2 different ones. I went to one in Florida on Captiva Island, which is beautiful, and then another one in Sedona, Arizona. And we did this process every day of like going up and up and up to the one infinite creator space, and like calling in angels and guides and archangels, and like, so I started developing this visual there that every time I would get up into that space, into the highest dimension, like where I could meet like my divine team and ask for anything that I want, any kind of healing that I need, they would always have me go into this bathtub, like this stone looking bathtub. And in there, they would like drop these drops. Like if I would ask for like health, then they would drop like the right drop of something that had like the frequency that would go throughout the water, or whatever it is, some kind of like liquid stuff, magic, whatever kind of stuff in there. And then it would like download to my body. Like my body would then like receive that frequency upgrade. And so then being here in Europe, something that's also been very interesting is every single time I leave a country now, 3 times, it's the week that I'm leaving, I get incredibly sick. Like I used to never really get sick, just like average person, not average, but like normal person sick is what we kind of call it in like the Lyme community, because my immune system was always compromised with the Lyme disease stuff. And I was sick, but not like stuffy kind of sick and like with a cold or like with a stomach kind of thing. It was like deathly ill kind of sick. But my immune system wasn't really strong enough to like fight off and give me the symptoms for a cold kind of thing. So anyway, I've had that every single time I'm leaving a country. And so the first one that happened, I was in Rome. What a really dense place to start this. And so I was at the Vatican the first day that I got sick, and I was like, I cannot go on. To the friend I was with, I was like, you go walk and look around. I'm gonna sit here because I am like not well. And so I sit down and I'm sitting in front of this bathtub, this stone bathtub. And then I'm looking around in this like courtyard area where I almost like crawled to it. I was like, the nearest bench, I just need to sit. I was like feverish. It was coming on really quick. The whole courtyard is like bathtub central. Like it's like, it must be like something very divine that was, it's in the Vatican. And so there are all these different tubs, and I really don't know the history on it, and I don't know that it's important for me to know, but if you do, please let me know down there in the comments. And so I'm sitting in front of this bathtub. I was like, wow, okay, this is really cool. It's just another kind of synchronicity, right? Another thing to tell me like what I've like been seeing and experiencing. Like it's really fascinating to see it right in front of me. And so the sickness thing is something else that I'll go into later, but it seems to be like taking on all the energy of a country that I'm in for a long time, and then kind of like transmuting it in my own way, in my own light work. We all have our work that we're doing here on earth. Many of you are light workers. And so I've been working on being able to do this here without like experiencing the physical symptoms. And there's a process that I've been shown for doing that, which is really incredible, and I think will apply to a lot of empaths. So we'll get into that later. But then this morning when I was in my meditation, I was feeling those feelings of, wanting to go be productive, but also like wanting to rest. And then I was seeing my younger child self where like she wanted to rest. Like she needed way more rest than her siblings, than other people maybe. And so the only way she could really receive that and like have a day to just like be in bed and like receive nurturing, like get a glass of orange juice and like be able to just chill, was to be sick. And so I think that caused a lot of like wiring and maybe kind of helped manifest that chronic illness. Because my overall, like, we just need to rest. A lot of us like need to actually make that time to rest. And I keep talking about this because rest is not scrolling on your phone. Rest is not watching Netflix. Rest is not that. Rest is just like actually like being in alignment with your soul, like nurturing, feeling the love, like maybe doing something creative. Like if it's really relaxing, like doing some painting or like, like being here in your body, not leaving your body while not moving your body. That's not resting. And so what I was seeing was, okay, so you've had this like bathtub type thing, and I was kind of seeing it in this area here. And there is that like magic liquid type stuff in it. And we will often have leaks in the bathtub, or like something like that's allowing like an opening for this to come out. And it's our life force energy, right? It's this like very potent, like infinite divine frequency that lives within ourselves, our bodies, that we have access to all the time, but we can become depleted of our life force energy, of this like magic within ourselves, if we, do things like that drain it, working a job that we hate, spending time with friends who just like complain all the time and talk about other people and put us down in ways that are either direct or indirect, and that kind of thing. Or I don't know if I said like a romantic relationship, maybe we're like living in a home that we don't love, or we're like trying so hard to like always be there for our family even though they don't like appreciate you and they're always trying to bring you down, or like they just have a lot of negativity and like it feels really draining to be around them. Like who and what is draining your life force energy, and how can you clean that up? How can you repair the leaks within this beautiful stone thing within your body? Maybe it's not stone for you, for me it is. How can we repair it so that we stay full of our life force energy, so that we can tap into it for anything? So many of us are, like we talked about yesterday, stuck on the hamster wheel, and we're like, how do we get off the hamster wheel? And then you turn to your tub and you're like, I need some kind of divine like intuition, like what is it? What's gonna save me? How do I get out? Like where is it? Where is it? Where's my intuition? Where's my creativity? Where's my soul's purpose? And what I was seeing is like when I would do that before, you know, I would be in the job, I would be exhausted, but I'd be like, I really want soul aligned work. And like, I know I have divine guidance. I know I have this power. And I would then turn to my well of this life force energy, and there would be like drops left in the tub because it had been leaking out because I was in a toxic relationship, a job that didn't appreciate me. I was with, you know, like I was saying, like with friends who just weren't supporting me and being the version of me that I truly am. And so I had allowed all these things to deplete me. And so there would be like barely any little drops that like didn't fall through the holes and the cracks that I had been allowing to be there. And so it will naturally refill when you fix the cracks. And that's what was being shown to me. And so when we are full, then we're going to want to, you know, go be productive, go do these things. But otherwise, we're just like taking and taking and taking from a place that's depleted. And we're like, why am I so tired all the time? It's like you aren't taking the time to repair, to fill up again, to rest. The rest is what fills it up, and then we also have to make sure that we're not allowing these things to deplete it. And so I hope that that visual kind of makes sense and will allow you to just kind of trust this whole process. And I think that another thing that was coming through a lot is this concept of God's will. So we have our free will, right? And then there's God's will too. And our free will is really important to understand how we can use it in alignment with our soul. And our soul is a part of God, right? And God has this wonderful plan for us too. So it's like we choose with our free will where we want to go, and then God, source, universe, or whatever designs this beautiful roadmap for us to get there. And so our job after we choose with our free will is to follow the joy and the curiosity, and to make sure to rest and replenish as well. And so as we're following the joy and the curiosity, and we're staying in this place of alignment, and we're refilling our stone bathtub, our cup, or whatever you want to call it, then everything that happens along the way is God's will. I had this conversation with somebody that I was working with on a boat recently. So I used to work on yachts. I worked on a yacht recently for a few weeks in Mexico. And so one of the crew members on there, I'm still a little stuffy. I'm like almost better, but he was a big surfer. He is a big surfer. And I love the water. I love living on a boat. I love all of that. Like part of me is like, I just want to find a sailor husband so that we can sail the world together. It was really cool. Little side tangent. One of my favorite people to follow on our channels to follow online is Sailing the Vagabond. I've been following them for years and years and years, and I met Elena in a breath workshop in Bali a few months ago. That was such a cool experience. But yeah, something like that kind of lifestyle is something that I've always really been called to, especially since I started working on boats like 6-7 years ago. So I was talking to this crew member, and he is a surfer, and I was like, wow, I can't do it. Like I love the water, I snowboard, I like boards, you know, but I just can't do it because I'm afraid of the sharks. Like I can't deal with the fear of a shark attacking me. Like you know, and he's like, well, God's will. And I was like, yeah, you're right. And he's like, I love it, so I'm gonna do it. If I get attacked by a shark, it's God's will. And just in that, I was like, that is so true and so wise and so relevant to everything. If you're following your joy and doing what you love, it's filling your cup. You have more life force energy. Your tub is full for everything else. You can take and take and take from there. And if that shark attack maybe happens and whatever, it's God's will, and it's somehow part of the beautiful design to get you to where you've chosen to get to. Like, this is like the most random, I don't know, I'm trying to come up with an example. Like, maybe you really want to be a news reporter and the shark attack like gets you on the news, and then like the news reporter people are like, wow, you're really good on the news, and like then they give you a job on the news. I don't know, something like that. Like, it's all part of the plan. Just like let go of the fear and follow the joy. Use your free will, rest and recharge, fill in the cracks, make sure you're a functioning system, you know? Like, we're like cars. Like, when things start to break down and we just ignore them, and then more things start to break down, like then we're just at this place where like, how could I repair from here? You can. It just takes commitment, and it takes thinking about these things that we're talking about in this video right now. And as you start to fill up, it's like, then you have, it's like the same thing as like abundance, right? It's when I go into my world, my meditation world, I can see it so clearly, and then when I try and bring it here, sometimes I struggle a little bit with it. So it's like our abundance is, you know, sometimes it can feel like people will be in that lack mindset, and it's like, I gotta like really hold on to everything that I have, and if I spend, like it's getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and I'm afraid that it's not gonna come back. But the truth of who we are, from what I know and understand to be true, is that we are infinite abundance. We come from this one infinite creator. We are infinite. And so the truth of who we are is infinite. And so when we let go of that lack and we keep this well full of abundance, it's like we take, but it's always being replenished. Like, we not take, but we spend. We spend, and it's always being replenished. And so it's getting a little bit long right now, but that's a whole other thing, is this lack mindset and our relationship with money. Like, one of my videos I made in Switzerland was talking about like how to like have a healthy conversation with money and be like, yo, I'm sorry for how I've treated you. You know, if money is a frequency, and if money was a person, a friend, and you just never trusted money to be in your life, you never, like, you always like thought that money was like liking other people more than you, and like you had this thing, money would be like, ugh, like I don't want to like be in your life, you know? And so if you just allow and like let go of this attachment, let go of these ideas, these beliefs of lack, these like illusions, and just trust that process and follow the joy, follow the love, fill in the cracks, rest, allow yourself to recharge, allow the abundance to come to you, not by working harder, but by working more aligned. Then you're gonna stay full, okay? So that was the message. I think the sun is coming out a little bit, and so I am feeling more charged right now. So Arlo and I were going to go on a run for the first time in a while. I'm not sick anymore. I'm just like a little tiny bit of stuffiness. Also, I've been like using a specific kind of spray that I got from the pharmacia, and that also makes me a little more stuffy. So I think I'm good for a run. So if you like this video, please do give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you are new here, and leave a comment if you feel called to do so. And if you want to work with me one-on-one, I just opened some spots for the first time in a very long time. And so the first one that I made is health coaching. It's like health, life, spiritual coaching. So if there's anything that comes up in these videos and you're like, wow, I'd like to go deeper into that and have some guidance on it, I know that it can get a little tricky on our own sometimes. I would love to be that support for you in a session. And then the other one is getting to know your divine team. So if you want to be guided through understanding how to identify and how to communicate with your divine team so that you have this as a resource for the rest of your life, and you don't have to keep looking outside of yourself, you can go within and have that conversation with your own divine team to help you create the life of your dreams, to get what you want and to remember the truth of who you are. Then that session would be for you. And so we will see you in tomorrow's video. Say bye, Arlo.